How much do Vortex Tube cabinet coolers cost? Vortex Tube cabinet coolers are a very cost-effective method of cooling electrical cabinets. They don't require any refrigerants, they don't require any external power source other than the compressed air supply. A basic small unit can be as little as £390, and then bigger units will go up to around £1,400, maybe £2,000. So what affects this cost? There's quite a variation there. The size of the unit is the first thing. We produce units that vary from 42 watts of cooling to 850 watts of cooling. The bigger the wattage there, the bigger the amount of cooling, generally the higher the price will be. You can also opt to have things like an integrated thermostat controlled by a solenoid. That will add to the cost. And then another factor is the NEMA or IP rating, the waterproof rating of the system. Obviously with electrical cabinets we need them to be watertight, and depending on the environment you'll need to have different IP ratings for anything you're sticking into that cabinet, like a Vortex Tube cooler. We do them in IP14, IP54 and IP66, and they will essentially get more expensive as we move up those IP ratings. So IP66 is for washdown environments, so they can handle a water jet. They have better seals in them, so they're slightly more expensive than, say, an IP44 model. We can add hot and cold end mufflers. This will reduce the noise. Vortex Tube cabinet coolers can get quite noisy. Some examples: a 322 watt cooler for an IP66 or washdown environment with a thermostat would be about £1,125 at the time of shooting. The same cooler with a hot and cold end muffler added to make it quiet would be £1,383. A comparable chiller or aircon unit is likely to cost several £1,000s to produce the same level of cooling. So in terms of initial outlay, Vortex Tube cabinet coolers are much cheaper than any of the alternatives. However, we want to be honest here. The running costs will probably be higher on Vortex Tube powered cabinet coolers than chillers and aircon units. And this is because we're running them on compressed air, and compressed air has a cost. So it's likely to be more expensive per watt of cooling than an equivalent chiller. But this is not necessarily the case, as Vortex Tubes are instantly controllable by solenoid valves and can instantly produce their cold air stream, whereas chillers can take a little bit of time to actually get down to the temperatures that they need to. If you're having a very variable situation, if you need to have them on and off quite a lot, then some of those inefficiencies can be mitigated. But generally speaking, a Vortex Tube cabinet cooler will cost a little bit more to run than an equivalent chiller. But in terms of capex, in terms of the actual expenditure, and in terms of the expense of actually getting them installed, they are far cheaper than equivalent chillers.